Happy Pie Day. I never really do like the content type of stuff where people celebrate certain holidays, but I got wind that Pie Day is a day that a lot of pizza places do different deals. So of course I went to a pizza place that doesn't have a deal, but I wanted to do my favorite pizza place for Pie Day, 314 Pie Pie. I sure you get it. I'm not going to insult anybody's intelligence, but it's Thursday for me. But I wanted to do something for that day, so I went to my favorite pizza place. A lot of you haven't seen it. It's been months. Hasn't been a year. It's been months. For the first time in 2025, I went to a place called Squared. People get confused about this. Squared is in a restaurant called Francesca's Pizza and Pasta, located in Elmwood Park as well. Same owner, same place, but this is like their virtual restaurant. You can go in and get it. That does their like Detroit square pies. Now, they don't call it Detroit, but it's very similar to that. So I got this pizza, I got a sandwich, and I got some pasta. I've had the pasta, but not the sandwich. You get the idea. I am super excited to try this. Drop a thumbs up, you know the vibes, and let's get into this video. I am so excited to try this. There we go. There. Look at this. This is a half and half pizza. So I have their house pie on the right, and then their sausage, pepper, and onion pizza on the left. So their house pie is what you would get in a Detroit-style pizza if you don't know. So it's going to have those baked-in edges on the crust of the pizza, which is like one of my favorite parts. It is a thick crust pizza, and it has a lot of sauce, a lot of cheese, fresh basil, and then they top that off with some Parmesan Romano cheese, and then one side just has sausage, pepper, and onion. I've never gotten their toppings before, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like just looking at it, I wish there was more on it, but it could be underneath the sauce because it looks like they ladled some sauce on the top. But I'm gonna start with the house pie because this one I've had before, and I think that it is absolutely delicious. First bite. I love that baked in cheese on the outside of this pizza. Like, it almost has a toasted vibe. There's the underneath part of the pizza. I didn't ask for this well done. It comes out this way, and that's how I like my pizza. It's nice and soft on the inside, but a beautiful, crisp outside of this. I have sauce on my face, don't I? We'll get it in a second. And then I saved the best part for last, which is that cheese. I actually ordered a Diet Coke today too. They didn't have any Coke Zero. This isn't really relevant to the video, and I probably shouldn't be complaining or even saying this because people will say I'm complaining, but it still needs to be said. This cost me $3.90. That's crazy. That's crazy. I just needed to say that. This is one of the few things I've ever given a 10 to, and it's still going to stay the same. This, to me, like, not everybody likes this type of pizza, but I do, and I love it. So it still gets a 10. Now let's try this sausage, pepper, and onion side. Oh, no, there's a lot of toppings. So you look, as soon as I took this off, it's all underneath there, which that's why I said it looks like there's not a lot, but it could be. Oh, that's good. For me to give a pizza without toppings a 10 is crazy because I'm not a person who gets plain pizza a lot. So adding toppings to it, there's a ton of sauce on this too. Like, you can see the layer of sauce on here. This, I might have to just make that a 9.9 with sauce, adding toppings on here, but to me, it's the same pizza, if you get what I'm saying. Now, they do some different types of pies. Last time I went here, I got a buffalo chicken and ranch. And I thought it was good, but you don't need to do a lot with this. Like adding some toppings to it, that's really about it. Good layers of cheese. It's delicious. And once again, that baked in cheese, it's the best part. Everybody has their pizza preference. I love my OG, I guess people not from around here would call it New York style pizza. You know, the thin crust, the pies normally that you see in these videos. But there's a, man, that bite just got me. There's a special place, it's crazy. There's a special place in my heart for Detroit style pizza as well. I got to get to Detroit and just start trying pizzas all over the place. But I've had a few around here. This is my favorite one that I've had. I will sit here and demolish this entire pizza. However you want it, with or without toppings. A 10 is a 10 is a 10 to me. I love this pizza. I've seen other people go and say that it wasn't their favorite, they still liked it. I respect everybody's preference, respect mine. Just for me, I'm not giving this one away. That little bite right here, I gotta get this one. Gotta get this one. Come here, bro. Making me look bad. Okay. I gotta get this bite. Look at this bite. See that edge right there? That's about to go crazy. I have to go this right here. This. No. Not toasted cheese, man. Man. Okay, I'm done. I bit the whole side of this crust on that bite. That was my one more bite. So I've admittedly never had this one before, but I wanted to try this. We've been getting a lot of cheesesteaks recently, so I said, you know what? Let's try it from here. Let's see if they can add something to this. So I don't know exactly how they made it. It just said cheesesteak, and then I just straight up ordered it. So take a look at this one. I like the ratio here of the meat to peppers going on in here. This bread seems really soft, which is a really good thing. I like when the bread is soft. You know, I don't want it like a hard crack a tooth bread. Let's open this bad boy up. We do not have Cheese Whiz, thank goodness. It looks like it has some pretty juicy steak in here. Peppers, onions, and then some cheese. I think this is provolone cheese as well. Bread looks good. Everything here looks good. Let's try the cheesesteak. Let me give you one more right in here. What do you think? This isn't bad. Compared to a lot of the pizzeria's cheesesteaks that I've gotten around here, I would actually put this very good. This is all going to come down to preference. I think there's a good amount of beef in here. It's really thin, shaved ribeye, and I like that. The thing that I'm noticing though, there's not a lot of cheese in it, and I just think you need more cheese. Like, it's called a cheesesteak for a reason. You've got to at least have a couple slices of provolone in here, and when I open this up, you can just tell there's not a ton in here, but the bread is really soft, which I like. The ratio of peppers and onions, for me, is perfect because I'm getting them in every bite. But at the same time, I don't feel like there's an overwhelming amount where all I'm getting is peppers and onions in every bite. It's just enough. Everything else about this is like pretty good for a cheesesteak. I just think, again, you got to put a little more cheese on there. For me, everybody's preference is different. But I would say, as far as pizza places go, this is one of the better ones I've had. overall cheesesteak, slightly above average, which is going to bring me to a mean score. I mean mean as like average of 7 out of 10. Can I get a sip of Diet Coke, please? Just a little bit. Normally I don't do this on camera, but I'm gonna keep it running. And I've said this before. Normally I edit this out because every time I have a sip of soda, I burp. See? So I usually edit it out so you don't hear that. But now there's this whole thing now where everyone's accusing different like food creators of spitting food out, which is like blasphemous to me. I guess y'all call it one person and think it's everybody, but every once in a while I'm just gonna leave it in there. But I'm not like one of the people, I don't like burping in front of people like that. I just think it's crazy. But anyway, this right here is one of my favorite pasta dishes I've had since I've been doing this channel. I've gotten it 3 or 4 different times since I've been here, and every single time I think they do it just right. So this right here is their spicy rigatoni and vodka. Specifically, I'm not editing that. That's the last one you're getting in this video. I hate it. Sorry, I apologize. It won't happen again. I have to do it one more time. Their rigatoni to me is like the smaller ones, but they're really perfectly cooked every single time. They add a little bit of cheese on the top, and then there's vodka sauce, but the spicy vodka sauce, which I get every single time, I just think they do it really nice. You can also get the variation with chicken, but I tend not to. It's because I just ordered a cheesesteak, and it doesn't really make sense. But if you get this as a standalone dish, the chicken version to me is the better one. But you can see the perfect coating on these rigatoni noodles. They do it right. They do. One thing they gonna do at this place is make some damn spicy vodka sauce. I've also had their spicy vodka chicken parm, and it's fire. But this to me, when making a spicy pasta, is the perfect spice level, because I don't want to have something that I just don't enjoy eating because it's too spicy, but you want it to be there. You want the spice level to be there, and that's what this is. A good rule of thumb for me when I'm just trying to have an enjoyable hot food, personally, is like a little bit above hot sauce. I love the spice level of hot sauce when I'm just eating food. When I'm having something that I want spicy food, I just want it a little bit more spicy than that. So anything that on a scale of 1 to 10 is somewhere in that middle of like 4, 5, maybe even a 6 is what I'm looking for. And this is probably like a 3 or 4, which I'm more than okay with a pasta dish. But they just do these little rigatoni noodles right. That's why you clean these. Gotta clean it. You don't believe me? I know, again, people like calling me out for lying. Got these sanitizing wipes, and I spray this down after I finish as well. Keep stuff on me. But one of my favorite pasta dishes I've had. They just do it perfect. And then there's a little bit of that Parmesan on the top. Just a little bit. So you get a bite every now and then. Fork. And for me, I think rigatoni is one of the most underrated dishes, or should I say noodles. I love the ridges on here because it just gets all of the sauce right in those ridges, and that's what I'm looking for. So it's also not drowned in it. I know some people believe in drowning their pasta. I don't. I like when there's just enough sauce. Like, I'll give you a perfect one when you get it from the bottom. Don't, which is like right here. See that? Just a little bit. But then you mix it in like that. All right, that's the last one I'm gonna show y'all. That autofocus is sharp, though, isn't it? Listen, that lens costs a lot of money. We gonna use it whenever we can. But this, for me, is one of the best pasta dishes that I've eaten. Like, period. Especially from a restaurant, let alone a pizza place. I always give it a high score. I'm going to give it a 9.5. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever had. That's a crazy thing, being where I'm from, and how much damn pasta I've eaten in my life, but it's just really good. Like I said, man, I've never been one of those creators that like does all of the like the trendy things. I think the whole like national sandwich, national this, there's so many of them now that it kind of lost its meaning. But I like pizza, and I heard because I went to 7-Eleven to get a pizza, ironically, for a video that I had to make, and the dude there was like, in 2 days it's gonna be $3.14. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, it's Pi Day. So I wanted to do it because I actually wanted this pizza. I haven't had it in like 3 months, which for me is insane. But I try a lot of different pizza places, but whenever I gotta spin the block, there's like 2 or 3 that I'm like, these are my spots. And when it comes to this type of pizza, by far, one of the best. So Squared is in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Again, if you're looking for it online, I believe they finally put up the storefront where you can Google it, but it's in another place called Francesca's. Again, same owner, same place, same and whatever, but I just wanted y'all to know, put y'all on to some stuff. But I wanted to talk about this today. I understand now why photographers and videographers that you hire professionally for certain things are so damn expensive, because when I tell you the amount of money that you can spend on camera and lighting equipment, it is insane. Again, luckily for me, this place was already on my budget because I'm here already. It didn't matter. So some of the stuff that I had to do, like I wanted to do, was upgrade the camera and the lighting equipment. Some of this stuff, like the camera lenses, the lens that you're looking at right now, this lens right here, I know people keep like saying it looks great, and some people didn't like the blurring and stuff, but this lens is like $1,800, not the camera, the lens. And when I was looking into kind of researching equipment, I'm like, okay, they said, you should use the G Master Sony lenses and this camera, and I'm like, cool. I'm looking up G Master, and I'm like, that's more expensive than any camera I've had before this, which is insane. But I know now why they charge so much, because a lot of people, I have a friend who's a photographer and videographer for weddings and stuff. He has his own company. And I kind of messaged him today. I was like, bro, I get it now. And he's like, every time that he does interviews and he does, because people interview him because they're going to spend a lot of money on his stuff, they always ask for certain equipment and they want this and that. And he's like, that part costs so much money, that like people don't realize what goes into that. I personally know on the back part of that, the editing and stuff that goes into that, because you take thousands of photos at a wedding and you've got to color grade them and kind of go through them and then present them with here. It takes a lot of work, especially when you're color grading individual photos. Now, I know some people use AI now, but a lot of the old school ones don't. But the camera that I'm using is called a Sony FX3. A lot of money as well. It's probably the biggest investment I've ever made in my life, period. But I wanted to do it. I feel really good about that. And then now I kind of have a home base where I'm not like ducking equipment in my house and having to keep putting out tripods and all this other stuff. It's just here, and it's so much easier. But I respect the people who are on the photography grind and the lenses. I never knew it was like that until I really got into the filming part. Some of these softboxes, this softbox right here, that you can't see it, but it's like a big lantern softbox. There's so much money. All these stands, the tripods, it's crazy, bro. And I know that now. Like the camera rig, I respect y'all, man. I just wanted to say that. Anybody who's in the photography game or the videography game, kind of drop a comment below. I don't need to know what you're charging and all kinds of stuff like that, but like, am I off base here? I know I'm not with how much it costs, but I do understand the labor and the parts and stuff, because I had one of my friends get married last year and they were asking for a photographer that had like a Sony FX6. They were specifically asking for it. That's a $6,000 camera, and that's without anything else. No ND filters or anything. It's a whole thing. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I just wanted y'all to know that. We'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. Hand signs. They made it to YouTube.